Hello and welcome to another ProfileTree Wix YouTube tutorial video. So today we're going to go through the best free website builders. So yes, we'll go ahead and get started. So first of all, I've just made this brief PowerPoint presentation. It's more for the fact that it's just to get just some knowledge on the different website builders and not just Wix. So first thing is what other platforms can I use? So there are other great alternatives, which are Squarespace. And as I've said there, it's great for creatives looking to sell products online. And then you have WooCommerce, great for people familiar with WordPress. It is a little bit more complex, so it's best to just get the hang of course, Visual Code, anything like that, before using WooCommerce. And then, of course, you've got GoDaddy there, another great website builder. And as I've stated, it's a fast website creation. I think Wix and GoDaddy are pretty much up there when it comes to creating a website. And then you've got Shopify, of course, which is mainly an e-commerce brand platform, and that's best for all-in-one store building. And we've got Weebly here as well, which is also great for smaller businesses. But as I've stated here, the one that I think is the best for creating a website would have to be Wix. So I'm not saying that just out of being biased or anything. I do think that those platforms are great, but just for getting into web developing, for an easier platform to use would be Wix, in my opinion. So there are flexible designs. So these are the pros, by the way. So there are flexible designs and a load of templates to choose from. And by meaning is if you have a specific brand that you want to create, so it could be anything to do with a clothing brand or a footwear brand. So you can have specifics to those, and it'll give you templates that you could choose from. And on top of that as well, there are flexible designs, meaning that there's a lot of creative ways of what you could use. There's actually this developer tool, which is Velo, and this is where you're able to insert some JavaScript node code onto the website to make things work. And I'll show you a bit about that later on. It's also very user-friendly. So simple meaning in that is it's, beginners can use it. You've got a free plan, which means that they give you a free plan basically for individual sellers and beginners. This is debatable. It's more the fact that it's free with domain as well, and that you have to sort of purchase the actual plan. So there's different plans that you can purchase, which I'll go through later on in the video when we're creating a website. And within those plans, there's different prices, of course, different selling points, and you also have a 14-day money-back guarantee if you're not happy. The free plan, it's mainly where you're able to publish the website and you could show it to others. You'll have a link as well to it, but it won't come up when you search up, using SEO or search engine optimization through Google. So you'll not be able to recognize it through the actual Google. So moving on, Wix provides free and paid apps that you could use for Wix. So that meaning that there's a lot of different areas for the Wix marketplace that you could use, like booking or payments, anything like that, especially if you're creating an e-commerce website. It also provides security, which is great. That's what we want. So password protected pages for private clients, and you can also have a sort of a membership members only page as well if when you're creating the website. And as I stated there earlier on, free domain, so you get your own free domain name for a year. You can choose to pay for it, but I must warn you that the free domain, it's only depending on the plan that you pick. So that's sort of like, will I get free domain if I pay for this plan? So I'll show you that later on. And lastly there, I've also stated that it is SEO friendly. You are able to monitor your SEO, but depending on your plan, again, it just, depends how much you pay. The more you pay, of course, the better quality you're going to get. So now that we've discussed the pros of using Wix, I now want to talk about the cons. So reasons not to use Wix. So I've stated there you can't switch templates after building your website. That's just meaning that, once you've picked your template, it's a bit hard to go back and forth to clicking a new one. So you'd have to commit to doing that one, or you either create a new website. So it's one or the other. Another thing as well is I'm going to add on to the fact that if you use the platform Editor X and you want to go into Editor, you'll not be able to. It's more the fact that they're both different platforms. We'll talk more about that later on in the video. So next point I've said is you can't access all unrestricted websites after you pay for premium. So that means features in premium can't be transferred, so it remains on one site for good. So that's a bit unfortunate. So that's one of the downfalls to using Wix. And it does have too many platform options. Too many meaning that there's 3 options there. You've got ADI, Editor, and Editor X. Of course, when you're entering a new platform, just trying to use the, you just want to get stuck in, build the website that you want to build, but it gives you too many questions. That's pretty much what Wix is. It does cluster you with some questions that you don't want to look at. You just sort of just want to get stuck into it. But this video will guide you through how you get past that, from sign up all the way to actually creating it through Canvas. So you have, as I said there here, you have to have a paid plan for tracking, meaning that website users would want to know how the site's performing. Sorry about that. But this requires a paid plan to track your site. So that's just meaning, of course, with the different pricing plans, depending on what you choose, you'll not be able to track for performance. So Editor X, this is one for the beginners. I would avoid it, mainly just because it is, I believe, more for professional web developers, or one that's really, really skilled with using Editor and is ready to sort of level up. Editor X is a great platform to use. And yes, as I said there, it does require a good use of Velo and just a good use of skill overall, just making sure that everything's laid out properly and everything's responsive how it should be. So that's one of the downfalls to using Editor X. So now that we've discussed that, sort of want to get stuck into building the site, but what do I need, or how do I create a Wix site? So this is the basic guide for it. You've got a header, you've got a footer, and you've got the section. Of course, we all know for a header we would have a logo, your menu items, which would include like a home, a shop, contact, about us, anything like that. Dependent if your site is to do with an e-commerce site, then you would have a login and then of course your basket. Not necessarily that you would need a login page for a e-commerce site. That can occur for a non-e-commerce site as well. So just to let you know. And lastly, the social media. You can add that in if you want. Next, I've also added for the sections there, you can have a heading or a tagline background. That's just, again, dependent on how you want to build your website. You don't have to follow this completely, but a hero section is one of the most important parts of the website, purely for the fact that it's what the visitor is going to be seeing first. So you want to make sure that you reel them in, track them, and so that they stick to your website. So that's your landing point. You would have, then I've stated here, for your next section, you could probably have a paragraph with a blank section to it. This blank section could be a video or something to do with an image or anything like that. So it's just completely up to yourselves and what you want to do. Second of all, or thirdly, I've just said something about, adding maybe a promotional for an e-commerce site. You could have a gallery or about or contact form, depending on how you want to build that section. It's primarily up to yourselves. I do believe that you should be doing this. It's mainly just to link visitors to the other pages. It's not that they'll not be clicking on the menu item. It's more the fact that if they see it nice and big within the front page is where you capture most of your visitors. You want to make sure they stick around within your website. So try to fill it up as much as you can, but not too cluttered. And the footer there is mainly the same as the header. Of course, you would have your links, a menu, social media, and a disclaimer. So now that we've talked through the different parts and pros and cons of Wix, we'll go ahead and actually build a Wix website. So I'll go ahead and skip forward onto the sign up. Okay, so now that we are on the sign up page, you can go ahead and create your profile. So that's by just getting your email in, retyping it, password, and then retyping that. Or you can go ahead and continue on with Google or Facebook. So that's just dependent on how you want to do it for signing up. But of course, I already have an account. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to log in. Now, this would not be the initial startup of how you will see it, especially if you haven't created an account with Wix. So just note that. For anyone else, of course, you may recognize this page. So the first page that you will be seeing will be this. So it'll ask you the platform that you want to use. For any experts, you can go ahead and fire away with Editor X there. Of course, there's also Wix for beginners. So just for the purpose of the video, we're going to go ahead and click on Wix. Now, it'll ask you what sort of website we're creating. So just for starter off, we're going to show you the non-e-commerce sites and then an e-commerce site. Then we're going to go ahead and build a website. And then after that, I'm going to show you as well the Wix logo maker. Of course, you can choose to skip that part, as you can, you could probably create your own logo using the actual Wix platform itself, or you can go ahead and create a Photoshop version of it. So it's just completely up to you. So we're going to go ahead and say that this is a blog website. Do note as well, so if we are building, like say we're building a clothing website, okay, it'll give you a bunch of different options. One for clothing shop, clothing blogger, clothing manufacturer. So it's just a bunch of different areas there that you could pick. I'll just say it's a clothing blogger because I want to try to create a non-e-commerce site first and just give you a guideline for it. So we'll just call it, trying to think of a name. For the meantime, we'll just call it non-e-commerce or just site build. Of course, this is where you would put the name of the actual name. So you would have site build, and then we'll go ahead and click next. Okay, so now from this point, you've got the actual marketplace for this. So these are all built in, as you can see, because we are trying to create a blog website. You can include a chat box if you want to. That's up to yourselves. These are all in the Wix marketplace anyway, so I'll go ahead and show you that later on. So I'll just choose skip. Okay. So I've already created a video on the Wix Editor X and the ADI, so I'll not be doing it for this video. If you want, you can go ahead and check out the rest of the videos that we've got listed up on our YouTube, so feel free to check them out. Editor X is just more complex, so as I said, if you want to, you can go ahead and choose this. As it states, it's very fluid in their designs with CSS grids, anything like that. But we're going to go ahead and stick with the Wix editor. Okay, it looks like I've clicked on the wrong one there. So we'll go back. So I'll go ahead and click on the Wix editor here, and straight away it's going to show me a few different templates for clothing blogger. And quite a lot of listings for the fashion blogs, as you could see. So this is what I meant about the templates. There's a whole load of templates that you could choose from. So it's a great way to actually look around as well. And then choose whatever you want to. Another thing as well is if you don't fancy any of the templates there at all, you can go ahead and click for a blank website template. And they're all listed there as well. So of course that all depends on what you want to pick. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say fashion blogger again. I think that's what it was called. So we'll pick on a fashion blog. We'll go ahead and view this. Okay, so this is just purely a blog, very, very simplistic website, yet it's fairly modern looking. So it looks like they didn't even add a hero section almost. They just pretty much just did a blog. So 2 blog posts and then 3 blog posts. Okay, so it's just a whole blog post along with some images. So we'll try to find something a little bit more different. Let's see, we'll go for something like this maybe. So this one has a hero section and it has 3 points. It looks like it's a one built website. Okay, so that is a one built almost website. So that's something that you can pursue if you want to build sites like this. Let's see, anything to do with shopping now. We'll have a look. I think, yes, this is a mixture of both. Okay, so there's a blog post and a shop. But yes, we'll focus on the non-e-commerce first and I'll show you that. Okay, so hopefully this is one. Okay, so this has different pages, but it's a very single page website. So that's what's pretty cool about that. There's different designs, of course. It's nice and small as well. And it's not a scrollable website by the looks of it. Okay. And then there's one there, a personal blog. It's moving more away from the fashion blog. So that's some of the options that you could pick there. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll look at some of the e-commerce sites they have. I'll see if I could search up an e-commerce site. Okay, there's an electronics store. We can have a look at this. So that's fairly modern from what you can see there. They've got their footer, couple of options here. As you can see straight off the bat, that's the hero section there that you want to see. And it's straight away saying buy now. And that'll link you to a shop. Really cool stuff's there. So it's like a integratable sort of. So these are all repeaters, I'm guessing. And when you hover over them, so it's got a hover animation where it switches the look of the image. So you can get creative with that if you want to. So that's just some of the options there. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a website, and I'll show you how easy it is to create a website on this. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this one out. So this is all pretty much pre-built for me. There's other ones here, of course, but I like to choose these pre-built blank templates as it's got everything you need. All you need to do is change it up a little bit. So that's pretty much it. So we'll wait for that one to load. So it's all loaded up now. We're going to go ahead and have a look into this. So we've got our basics here where we would have our menu item, then we would have our site name, and that's already linked, which is great. So if I go to about, let me see if it'll link me back to the page here. Yes, it does. We've got a gallery as well, so you can modify that to how you like. And it seems like that's about it for the rest of this page. Let's see our about. How does the about look? Okay, nice and simple. We've got a gallery section as well. That's great. I like the look of that. And a contact. Okay. So we'll build the website. We'll just do the front of the website and I'll show you how easy it is to create. So we'll go to home here and I'll show you the different amount of tools that they use as well. So let's see, we'll go on from here. So manage media. Let's just say I'm doing a sort of fashion website. So we'll go ahead and add some images in and we'll see if we can look for some images on fashion. So fashion. Okay, we'll have a look for clothing, see if we can find anything there. Maybe Unsplash might help us. Okay. See if we could search for cars. Maybe change it up. Maybe we could do like a mechanic store. So we'll do that instead. So there's that one. And then we'll add another image. And we'll say maybe a mechanic. So you need to use keywords in order to search for what you need. Okay, something like this will do, and that maybe as well. Okay, that will do. And then we'll add one more. So Unsplash and Media from Wix are both free. These are some of the images that people have posted in, which is great, can help us out a lot. Some of the stock images as well from Wix are fairly good as well, but just dependent on what you want to do. So we'll do that one as well, where he looks like he's working on a motorbike. I'm happy enough with that. We'll use those 3 images. Now, as you can see there, it's darkened our title. We would want to change that to white. So, and then this is where we could change our text as well. So I could change that to K to D. And then, now if I want to as well, it's a bit too bright for my liking, I can go ahead and manage that media. Now, what's cool about this is I can edit that image and add overlays. So just say the overlay I want to do is this one maybe. No, okay, a bit too dark. We'll reset it. And we could just maybe add a dark overlay, like so. And now this should show up a little bit darker than what it was. And it'll be a little bit better for us to see the white font text over this hero section once this loads. So I'll click X off that, and okay, that I should have. Yes, okay, there we go. So then we could type in see if it actually does this. It can be a little bit glitchy with this. Okay, we'll just reload that. Okay, so of course you'd have better content writing than this. I've just said visit the shop for a quote. And then I can go ahead and so there's a contact button there. Of course we would want to change that design. We can't see that, so let's go for something a little bit more of a fill. Okay, so just like that. It's just about matching it to the site on what we're building. I would want to give this one a color white background along with that. I'm happy enough with that. Then change the font so there's K2D. Now you want to make sure you stick with the same font. Once you stick with that font, do it throughout the entire website, unless there are other areas that you want to change. We'll change this as well to color white and then K2D. Okay. Welcome. Okay, what I'll do is I'll remove that and then I'll paste this in. So you can have something like this. Welcome to NI Mechanics, visit the shop for a quote and a contact us button. I think that this is a little bit too big for a introduction. So what I want to do is I'm going to use the toolbar and I'm going to go ahead and reduce it down to 700. Maybe that'll make a difference. Yep. Happy enough with that. Okay. So now that I've reduced that size, what I want to do is move on. to the next section. So I'll just add a section, and as you can see that they've got different options here. So I could just have something like meet the team. So something like that, and then what I could do, since these are repeaters, it'll repeat everything that I put down onto that for every other one, hopefully. When it comes to doing the text, so let's see, we'll get all this down first. Okay, we'll change the image, and then we'll go to media from Wix, search up a mechanic. Okay, so we'll use her, because that'll be our Ashley Jones. Oh, we could actually change that image there. I've seen another one. Okay. Prove that. And then what we could do here is we can go ahead and change the actual font. So K to D, and if I change that to K2D, that'll change the rest of them as well. So if I double click on this, you'll see K2D. And of course I want to do the same for the rest of this as well. So K2D, and do the same for this one, K2D. Okay, so you sort of get the gist on how to do this site. I'll go ahead and type that in. Okay, we'll get this guy here and change the image for this one. I'll just get this out of the way, and I'll show you the rest of the other parts for the site. So you can't do things, you go ahead and do it all like from scratch if you wanted to, but preferably if you could try to avoid doing it from scratch, you may as well. I'm trying to just find a mechanic here. Okay, we'll use him. Okay, so next thing that you could do is you could add another section here, and then I could have like a services one. We could just say we can have a services one, and something like this. And from there, you would want to describe your services. Again, it's a repeater, so you're able to just go ahead and change the font for each one. So for this one, you could do like so stage 1 service, we could just say oil, fuel, so oil filter, oil filter, fuel filter, MOT check. So the list can go on pretty much. It's just whatever you want to put down. So for the meantime, I'll just have it like that. We'll do one more. So oil, and then we'll just say coolant flush. And then if I drag an image down, it'll change the rest of them. So it's a pretty handy thing to use. So then you could do stage 2 service. And we could just say that for this one, it'll be timing belt, drive belt, and tensioner. We'll just say timing belt and water pump. MOT check, of course, and then we could say for this one, what could we say for that one? We'll just say coolant flush as well. So something like that. Of course, you could go on with it. You could change images as normal here as well. So let's just say that we do this, and then we enter, and then you can go ahead and do this. So that's actually a good one there. Of course, you would want to change these images around. Feel free to use the Wix ones. Okay, like so. So I'll get back to you once this is completed. Okay, so that's that completed. I actually got these two mixed up there. I should have had that for flywheel and clutch. Okay, so anyway, anything that you would change here. So let's just say we want to change the design. Of course, we could do so there. Like, so that's what's the great thing about this. We could border that up as well. Let's just say we want to add some edging to this. We could do so, like so. So it's all tying in with the rest of the site here already. And of course, if you want them to read more, you can link these. You would have to link these to a page. So just do like contact. So something like that. But of course, you would have to have individual pages for this. And I'll show you that quickly now. But I'll just get them to link to contact for the meantime. So if I go to the pages and menu and say I wanted to have 4 individual ones here for service. So if I wanted to add a services page, I could do so. And I could do this. So that'll add it for me. As I said, everything's pre-built for you. So you pretty much just have to sit back and relax while you do all this. So services, and of course what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and duplicate these. And stage 1 service, and drag, and so click and drag to the right, or you could just do this with the main pages. And I'll show you what it looks like with all the pages in. So something like this. And then if I exit off this and I go back to the home page, this is when I can start building these pages and start linking things up. So if I go back and I go ahead and click on this, link this to stage 1, like so. I would link this one to stage 2, just like this. And then click done. Click this one for stage 3. And lastly, this one for stage 4. So that's pretty much just how you would build a website for this. And of course you would want to finish it off with, so that's your disclaimer there. You would want to finish it off. I just remove this, keep the strip, make sure that's all the way. Don't want it with an A80. You finish it off with this footer, so we'll go ahead and do that. So as you can see, it didn't even take us that long to produce this website. Just takes a little bit of time, of course. We'll make sure we... Okay, so there's our thing there, and then 300. And from here, we can add some sections in. This is a strip, by the way, so if we remove this and we add an element in, this is using a strip. So we'll just do it in black just so you guys can see. And we'll move this down to the footer. So that's now with a footer. And if you want to reduce the white spacing, you could just double click that and that'll get rid of it. Of course, we want to have some white spacing. Okay, anyway. What we'll do is we'll change out the layout a little bit because I want 4 columns in this. We'll manage the columns. So I'm just teaching you guys that this is an easy build if you're using Wix. And it's a great platform. We'll also explore a little bit of the GoDaddy if we have time here. So we'll manage the columns. Let's have a look. And then this is where you would put your brand name. So we'll just for the meantime just say that this is NI Mechanics. And we'll just change that to K to D. And if you want to flare it up a little bit, like I was saying for the Wix logo maker, you can do so. So we could add this to the section here. Just move it in. Okay. Change the basic shape of this. Let's see. We'll go for a vector art. And we'll search up mechanic. So something like this, there's a cog, that'll do. So nice and basic, something like this. Okay, so that's pretty much a logo there. If you want to group them up, you can group the elements, so that creates a whole one there. And we'll go ahead and add that in for the bottom of our site. Okay. And we'll just make sure that this is a white background, just to prevent confusion. Okay, so now that that is done, I'll just move this a little bit here. Well, we would want to have some navigation in, so I'll go ahead and copy this and have some navigation in. So I'll go ahead and skip through and I'll show you the rest of the other site. Okay, so I've just skipped ahead there. So just so you know as well, this one here, you would have to make sure you link them. So it would be a web address, of course, and to a account, or to your actual Facebook, sorry, or Instagram, Twitter, or WhatsApp, just so you know. So that's that created. As you can see, it looks pretty good from my standpoint of view. If I go ahead and preview that, I'll have a look through it here. So nice and modern enough. I'm happy enough with how it looks. So that's just the front page, and we've already finished it. So of course you could touch it up, just make it how you want. You can add a, so this works here as a home, as you could see. What you can do as well is from this you could, if you wanted to, like add a location, of course that'll be handy. And from here as well, I've added the menu. So this is just a vertical menu, so if you're wondering, so that's just what it looks like. Now, what we're going to look at now is just the different pricing plans that they offer. So it is fairly cheap enough. So what we'll do is we'll go to the site and we'll go to the dashboard. We'll have a look through here. And we'll just go through the pricing plans. So of course, once you've connected a domain, that's what we need to have. So the name of this website is NI Mechanics, of course. And let's see, we could try nimechanic.com. We'll see what pops up there. Go ahead and click, let's go. Okay, so it is available, as you can see, and even if I put down .co.uk, there's one there, so .co.uk, so it works as well. You could choose to either pick the free domain or you could buy a domain if you want to, and I'll show you that now. So dependent on the actual name of the domain, the pricing will vary. So this one is 3 years for £27, and you do have to pay per year or per 2 years, 3 years, so you can keep that domain. So that's how you would go about it. Now, okay, so we'll go back, and another thing as well is if your domain isn't here, okay, what you could do is, so these are the frequently asked questions. So can I use a domain I already have? Of course you can, once you've upgraded with a premium plan. So you need to do the premium plan first. So let's just say I do have that. Let's see. NI Mechanics, I lost that now. Okay, yep, we'll get that. So we'll go to the premium plans. We'll have a look at some of the pricing plans that they have. So as you can see, they've got their website plans here, enterprise plans, business and e-commerce plans, of course. And if you scroll through them, they've got a business VIP one, business unlimited, business basic. But since this isn't an e-commerce site, we'll focus on the website plans first. So primarily what you could do is, if you just want to start off with it, you can use the connect domain, which is the most basic. However, I don't recommend this one purely for the fact that you can't get the or redeem your free 1-year domain, and that's here. And you also have ads which will display. So for an extra £3.50 or $4, you may as well pick this option. And it's actually cheaper to go for this option for the entire year, because I have noticed that between the two, it's about a £10 difference or $12 difference. So something around that pricing point. And as you can see, you've got bandwidth, storage-based video hours, and you've also got lead capture forms and field capture field per form. So that's the only difference between that and the Connect domain. And of course, the higher you go up with the pricing plans, the better your plan will be. So for this one, £21 per month, VIP, you have a priority customer care. So if we have a look at this one, the pricing plan for this one is a little bit dearer, of course. So that's what that's going to cost you for the entire year with that free domain. So if we go back here, okay, you also get a priority customer care, which is very important. The 24/7 customer care, it's okay. They do get back to you fast enough, but with the priority customer care, of course, it is pretty much instant. So now we've got the enterprise plans here. We'll move on to the business and e-commerce plan. So this is if you're wanting to create a e-commerce website. Of course, you can turn this website into an e-commerce site, especially if you're selling some parts. So there's a business basic, which people tend to go for as well. Looks like the most popular at the minute is the business unlimited. It's £20 per month. Ideally, I would honestly just go for the business basic if it's, you only need 20 gig of storage space and 5 hours of video hours. There's no point of going for this business unlimited. Of course, if you have lead capture forms, and that's registration forms and job applications, of course, and feedback. If you're building the site that I'm building, well, I would only need the business basic. So, and of course, we've got business VIP, which is £27 per month, which has priority customer care. And it also has customized reports, and that's valuable insights and make data-driven decisions for your business. So that's mainly to do with SEO. So speaking of SEO, we'll actually move on, and I'll now show you the SEO aspect of this site. So we'll go to the SEO. As you can see, it is brand new. So we'll do the checklist now. So we'll go ahead and get started. So it'll ask you 3 questions so we can build your personalized checks. Complete all checklists, tasks to set up your site for search results, and connect and verify Google so people can start finding you online. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the name is NI Mechanics. And this will serve for that. Yes, we are in Belfast. Okay, so we'll click next. Which keywords do you want to use for a checklist? So I'll just say NI Mechanics, Northern Ireland mechanic. Okay, let's try that again. Northern Ireland mechanics. I'll just space these out, of course. And so it has to be specific to the actual site itself. So you could even see the good and bad examples. So a good example is fast pizza delivery in Brooklyn. This one is pizza. So you could see the difference already. So fast pizza delivery in Brooklyn. Not only are you stating that you're a fast company, but you're also a pizza delivery company in Brooklyn. So that's like 3 different parts in one keyword. Instead of just pizza, it could be any pizza. Will it be a vegan pizza? Will it be just a normal pizza, or where is that pizza based? Where are you? What town are you at? What country are you at? There's another one where buy vegan pizza sauce. That's nice and short. This one, for the bad example there, order pizza dough for vegan, gluten-free friend birthday in New York City. That's obviously a bad one. It's too long. It's got an unnecessary one, which is free. Well, order pizza dough for gluten-free. It's something that we don't need to know. It's just free friend birthday in New York City. It pretty much doesn't even make sense. So buy vegan pizza sauce is a great example. There's one that says Tony's restaurant. There could be loads of restaurants. There's a lot of Tony's restaurants, so it has to be specific to what your brand name actually is, and probably what you're serving, something like that. So once you've got your keywords, of course they're not the best. It'll bring you up to this page now. And from here, we can go ahead. So these are the 3 texts that we've got, which is update the text on your home page, which we have done so, which is at least 1 keyword, and it's one of these ones, and make your home page visible in search results, which we have done so. Optimize your site for mobile devices, which is already completed, because that already has its own optimization. So if we go back to it and just have a look, and we click it through optimization. So there you go. It's already optimized for it. So there's not much to do apart from maybe a couple of different areas that we might need to fix. So we could probably just delete that, and then let's just say for the text, we can't see the text. So how do we make it to see? We'll just change the color. So double click on that, change that to black. So now it's visible. Any changes that you make to the mobile will not be affecting the actual desktop itself. So as you can see, it's still white. We still have the slider at the background. But for mobile, if we check on it, we're only getting visit the shop for a quote and welcome to NI Mechanics. So that's the only thing that you will be seeing. Go down, scroll down. So they all look really good. So I'm happy enough. You can choose to hide things if you wanted to, or just readjust things. So let's just say with that vector art, I want to put it there. And then for the mobile menu, I can edit that menu if I wanted to as well. I could increase it like this, put my social bar down here. It's very interchangeable, so it's what makes it really easy. It doesn't require any code. So going back, we've done that. We need to connect a custom domain, which is a premium feature. Of course, we haven't paid for that. So we can go ahead and skip that part and connect and submit your site to Google search engine. So that's something we need to do. So we need to complete that checklist. Of course, we can't finish that without doing this. Now the same will occur for the other ones here. So the rest of the sites. So we've got our home page, which we need to connect our social media accounts. As you can see, we've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and we don't have it linked. So that's something we need to do. We need to add contact details to our home page. So that's something we need to do, like a business location. And that's something we haven't done, unfortunately. Even though our location is based in Belfast, we haven't stated the fact that we're in Belfast or Northern Ireland. So the way you would fix that is, if I go back to the site here, and close that menu, and I'll go back to the desktop. So what I'll do is I'll scroll down here, and for the NI mechanics area, what I would like to do is I'm going to go ahead and add the location in. So I'll just drag this up, and I'll show you in a minute what changes will happen. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just created this site here quickly for GoDaddy. It is a very straightforward uh, platform to use. Once you just click on mechanics, it pretty much just brings everything up for you. It just works the same way as ADI. So if I go ahead and edit site and then just quickly show you around, it's mainly, you don't really do much at all. It's just you can increase the sizing of that just by dragging it, and then you can align it to how you want to align it, and it does everything for you. It's a great platform, I do believe, especially for beginners. And then you can change the images, as you could see here, for your own. So if I go ahead and click image, I can go ahead and use some of the images they have. So there's one with a beetle. That's pretty cool. I can go ahead and insert that. So things like that. It's just a overall very well sort of built web platform. And let's just say we have a contact us. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and delete that for the meantime. I'll show you how easy it is to create a contact page. So I can have three different options. There's new page, link to external website, or drop down menu. Of course, I'm going to have contact us. And I want that to show in navigation, and I want that to show in footer as well. So I'm not going to create a private page. I'm going to go ahead and create that page. Now once that comes up, this is what we're going to get. It says page is empty, so let's add some content. So it almost works the same way as Wix, but I'll show you now. So there's a list of different options here, and luckily there's contact here, so contact us. So it will load a few different options, just like Wix. So wait for this to load. So there's a couple of different options there. One's with maps, one's with locations, one with times as well. That one looks really good, so I'll go ahead and do this one. So all I need to do is click that and add it to the section. And straight off the bat, contact us, better yet, see us in person, opening hours, everything, and you've got your logo there, or the brand name. And I can add more sections if I want to. So just say I wanted an image gallery, or I could search it up here, image gallery. And we'll wait for that to load. There you go, it shows us the image gallery. So what I could do is I can go ahead and click add. And it's added that straight away. And I can choose to delete things if I want to. So just say for this part, I don't want this part. I can go ahead and remove that, and that'll just disappear. So it's very, very straightforward platform to use, I think. So, but I do prefer the Wix side of things. But not hating on GoDaddy, it's a great platform to use, and I recommend to use it as well. Very, very useful for beginners. But yes, hopefully that's sort of a touchdown for Wix there, and just give you a little bit of insight for GoDaddy. I can go on with this video and show you the different platforms available, but you guys can work away for what you think that would be a great start off point. I do think that Wix is a great start off point. It helps you develop on what you want to create for a website. It's just a little bit more complex than GoDaddy there, but that complexity doesn't really harm. It sort of gives you that sort of skill to build this website. Anyway, if you guys have any questions at all, just leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll get right to us. And yes, I'll see you for the next one. Thank you very much.